All kinds of sculptors, all kinds of artists have ways of responding to the world they live in and the world they hope to come. Meanwhile, the work takes up space. That's an automatic part of sculpture. It's three-dimensional and psychologically 4 or 5. What you're seeing here, I would say, easily relates to architecture because inside of these kind of works, there's an empathy, if you will, a structural understanding, and also a visual empathy.
Brighter Days is the first major survey exhibition of Melvin Edwards' sculpture in public space. Installed at City Hall Park in downtown Manhattan, this exhibition brings together 6 important works from Edwards' career, dating from 1970 to the present. This exhibition was originally intended to open in 2020, but in solidarity with the movement for racial justice, and in particular the Black Lives Matter protests and Occupy City Hall that was happening here at the park, Public Art Fund, in dialogue with Melvin Edwards, decided to postpone the exhibition, and we're thrilled to be opening it now in 2021. Melvin Edwards' work goes beyond the minimalist and abstract work of the 1960s and 70s to incorporate personal iconography, and specifically forms like the chain motif and the rocker that are central themes in this exhibition, to address his own personal experiences growing up in this country.
The rocker, the red one, that's the oldest piece here. And that's named for my grandmother. It's called Homage to Coco. She had a couple of mission furniture chairs, one which rocked and one which did not. And when she wasn't home, I often turned them over and, made playground out of it. As I got interested in kinetic ideas of sculpture, I didn't want, of course, to do what some other people had done. And somehow the idea of the rocker and balance became something to focus on. In the case of that particular piece, it's perfectly in balance, because it's totally symmetrical. But if you rock it, the chains, which are flexible, they alter the pendulum movement because they're flexible, the other forms are not. The use of the chain, in my case, people tend to reflect very specifically to slavery and those kind of problems. But the reality is, why were chains invented? Not for slavery. They were simply a better kind of rope. A blacksmith made rope out of steel. Also, in metaphor, linkage, connections, generation to generation, link to link. So it's a matter of the particular work and the intention of the artist, and then the eye of the perceivers, the people who look at things. Those who do and those who see, it's reciprocal.
Public Art Fund has been curating exhibitions here at City Hall Park for many, many years. This is a site that really has an enormous importance to it. It's the seat of the city's government, but also in recent years especially, we've seen this is a site where people come to make their voices heard. Historically, City Hall Park is also a site where freed and enslaved individuals of African descent were buried during the colonial period.
For the moment, of course, there are difficulties that everybody's aware of. The truth is, the things that are happening in our society and in the world have been happening for hundreds of years. But here we are still as human beings having to grapple with the realities of our lives, our environment, the problems we've created, and the problems that we therefore have to solve. And I'm optimistic that human beings can. Hard work gets stuff done.